Moving on. A relation on a set is a mapping from A to A. As defined, a relation on a set is subset of Cartesian product of A. I think there's nothing interesting on this page unless someone says that it is. We can also represent this. Okay, so I think that's the important part. That's one nice way to represent relations. Okay, so you can't do it for infinite relations जो हम यहाँ पे कर रहे थे, but for finite relations जिसके अंदर 5-6 members हैं, that's a nice way to do it. Okay, so you write down the first set on the left in a box, or a, I don't know, ellipsoid or something. Okay, and write down the set on the right, and then you, for each pair that's in your relation, you point an arrow starting from an element in the first set to an element in the second set. Okay, everyone understands what this picture is? Okay, this picture? Okay, so again this is a relation from A to A. अगर यहाँ पे A to B होता तो मैं यहाँ पे B का सेट बना देता. तो A के सेट के अंदर you have 1 2 3 4, so I'm just listing them 1 2 3 4. Okay, now I'm looking at what's in my relation. In my relation I have 1 1, so I'll put an arrow from 1 to 1. I have 1 2, so I'll have 1 2. I'll have 1 3 arrow, 1 4 arrow. I'll have 4 4 arrow, 3 4. So all of these every pair in here would be an arrow in my diagram. Okay, I think this is called arrow diagram or something. So of course if there is a 2 1, you would get a 2 1. Okay, यहाँ पे है नहीं, यहाँ पे कोई 2 1 नहीं है ना, 2 1 नहीं है तो हमने यहाँ से 2 2 1 arrow नहीं बनाया. Okay, अगर यहाँ पे 2 1 arrow pair होता तो you would definitely have a 2 1 arrow here. Okay, क्या ना, Cartesian product is a set. Yes. Yes. Okay, so बोलो I want to hear what your complaint is. Set की क्या definition है? So set's definition is you cannot have an element twice. Okay, but you need to figure out for each set what that element is. Okay, यहाँ पे elements are not numbers. The elements in your set are pairs of numbers. Okay, so for example if you have 1 2, you cannot have 1 2 again. Okay, 1 2 is not, 1 2 as a pair is not allowed anywhere else. Okay, each of these members itself is not a set. So this first pair for example is not a set. This is not a set. 4 4 is not a set. 4 4 is a, what is it? 4 4 is a tuple. Okay, 4 4 is a tuple. Another name for a tuple is a sequence. Okay, in a tuple you are allowed to have repeated things. Okay, good question. All right, consider following relations, and I'm gonna ask you some questions about them. Which of the above relations contain following pairs? Okay, look at these relations and tell me. Okay, 1 1 1 1 इनमें से कौन से relations में है? Okay, I think the better way is कि I'm gonna ask you whether it's in R1 and you're gonna tell me कि है या नहीं है. Okay, is it in R1?
No.
It's not, because 1 is not less than 1. Okay, is it in R2?
No.
Is it in R3?
Yes.
It's in R3. Is it in R4?
Yes.
It's also in R4. Is it in R5?
No.
It's not. R6?
Yes.
Yeah, R6 maybe. Yeah. Okay, so it's in R3, R4 and R6. R4 में है क्योंकि R4 की कंडीशन ये है कि either A should be equal to B or A should be equal to negation of B. Okay, since 1 is equal to itself, it should be in there. Okay, so it needs to follow only one of these conditions, right? Because there is an OR here. 1 2 1 2 is in R1. It's not here, it's not here, it's not here, it's in here, R5, and it's also in here. Oh, R5 में नहीं होगा, R5 में नहीं है. Okay, so it's only in R1 and R6. Okay, 2 1 2 1 is in R2, and it's R5, and it's R6. R6 में मैंने okay, मैंने इसको okay, cool, ठीक है. 2 1 को मैंने कर लिया. 1 in negation of 1. 1 is less than, it's not here, it's in R2, it's in R3 नहीं है, R4 में होगा, R5 में नहीं होगा, R6 में होगा. Okay, R6 में भी होगा. Okay, good. This is the answer. Okay, here are some other ways to represent them. First of all, we saw this Cartesian diagram, coordinate diagram, जो हमने use किए to represent points in 2 dimension or 3 dimension. Okay, this is arrow diagram, जिसमें आप sets को लिख देते हैं 2 sides के ऊपर, and then you have arrow from one side to another. You also have a matrix representation. इसमें what you do is that you represent the first set as the rows, okay, and the second set as the columns. Okay, that's important. Unless you want to switch, तो उस case में आप start में लिख देंगे this is what I'm doing. I'm representing first set as columns or whatever you want. Okay, by default the first set goes in the rows. Okay, and then you would have 0 everywhere except wherever you have a pair. Okay, so this 1 means that you have a pair 1 3. Okay, it also means that you have a pair 2 2, 2 4, 3 4, and 4 1. Okay, this is called a directed graph. This is only useful when you have a relation on just one set. उसी set के ऊपर relation है. Okay, you write the members of that set as nodes. उसके around up circles draw कर देते हैं, and then you draw arrows from one member to another. Okay, if there is identity, yeah, relation from a member to itself, you create a loop on that node. Okay, जैसे यहाँ पे create हुआ है. This loop means that this contains a connection from 2 to itself. Okay, 2 2 is one of the pairs. 4 1 is a pair, 1 3 is a pair, 2 4 is a pair, and so on. Okay. Okay. You should be able to go from one representation to another. Okay, I'll give you one representation and I'll ask you to go construct some other connection between them. Okay. Yeah. Any questions on this slide?